Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Some Sort of Gaming podcast. Today is April 19th, 2020. We got a great show for you this week, especially we've been out for we totally didn't do a podcast last week, but we'll say that we have a great show for you this week. There's a lot of things that's happening in this world, and there's a lot of things happening in the gaming world. Good things are coming, and good thing has came within this past 2 weeks. But first, let's find out what everybody's been doing this past week. I'll start off with you again, LadyInfamous, since on my Discord you're like right next to me.
No problem. Hello, everyone. I've been playing some Fallout 76 this past week. Wastelanders DLC came out. You know, I had to get on it. I'm more on that later in a bit. Also, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, the original version, on my PC, and thank God that I can, enable my Xbox controller. It makes the game easier. I'm enjoying the story, and it's some of the layouts. Sometimes I get lost, but it's okay. It's like that's like the least issue. But and I gotta learn that big mouse thing that points to people. You can move it to everybody, because I've been doing some dumb shit on there, icing myself. Last time I played Final Fantasy VII, our first fight, I hit what's her name, Tifa, but her name is Lady. So I pointed the arrow at her and actually gave my team damage. I was like, come on, man, this is the first fight. Get your shit together. So now when I'm doing my actions, I'm making sure that I'm doing the right enemies and stuff.
Can I will say that my experience with that, that happened with me too. And it's very easy to make that mistake.
Because you're gonna go pretty fast when you're
especially in modern controls. If you're used to modern controls, then that you'll make that mistake. The reason why that is, I think, is because back in the day, it was expected for you to just use left and right as to select your enemies.
Yeah.
And up and down is to select between parties.
So what I will say is in the configuration menu, there is a option to stop the battle when it's on your turn, or when one of your team members' ATB is full, and you press a menu button.
Yeah, it's called wait and active.
Yeah.
And you want to choose wait.
I'm going to do that because sometimes when I'm taking my time with these enemies, they'll hit me anyway. And I'm like, oh, damn, I got to really think on my feet when I...
Wait, but that was something that got added later, right?
No. That's been out since Final Fantasy 3 or 4.
That was an option in the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know. I knew. I like the story. I have a feeling that Peaches died because...
Who the fuck is Peaches?
I named him... Okay,
You know the girl that be hanging out with Cuz?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Ray. You don't remember this game?
I changed the names of my characters. So Cloud is Cuz.
So it's because I saw a text that says, "Hey, Cuz." Dialogue.
So and then
Planet is screaming.
Planet is dying, Cuz.
You should have named them My Dude or something. Then they'll all sound high.
Oh man, Barrett is Ray Ray. So I don't know. I just thought of Ray Ray. Peaches is Farah. That's her name. The one with the flower. Aerith. Okay. Her name is Peaches, and Tifa is Lady. So Lady has a bar. So I was like, that's kind of fitting that she has her own bar and stuff. I'm enjoying that as well. I got to get on that Call of Duty grind. I'm on my third class called Crab Legs, which is the Kalo 141. Trying to get that gold.
Did you say Crab Leg?
Yeah, I named the...
You can name your class,
so
right?
I have Big Deep Energy, okay. 2 Tacos Boy, and then
I just got it.
And then I have another class. The next class the name is so stupid, but I'm gonna get it ready. I'm gonna get platinum assault rifles, which is because they know way you get the super ultra rare camo if you platinum everything, every weapon. We're talking about handguns, bazookas, throwing knives, shit like that. I'm not doing that. My goal is to just get a platinum set. So I'm thinking about assault rifles. I'm used to doing MSGs. I mean, not MSGs. SMG. There we go. Got that. So I usually go through that with Call of Duty, but the last couple of games I've been doing assault rifles. So been leveling up. Got my ghost skin. I got my dog finishing move. My dog's name is DOG, and I'm cool with it. So I mean, a lot of that's. I think basically that's it. Animal Crossing, if that counts. I'm surprised that I had streamed Animal Crossing on Monday, and I'm like, man, ain't nobody gonna show up and watch me dig up holes and gather fruit and go to islands and stuff. And it went double digits. I'm like, for real, Animal Crossing? And I hate that Animal Crossing does not have audio settings on the game, because after 3 hours of listening to that Animal Crossing music, man, I'm like, ugh, I wish I can filter that out and put my own music in. I can probably play a little bit longer. And
oh wait, like you can't even turn down their music?
I was
really?
on stream looking at it through Reddit, and they was like, nah, they ain't got it. So, but that's all I've been doing this week.
I will say that like Animal Crossing on Twitch is just, it's been a really good thing to stream lately, because it's just good vibes. People just like to watch and listen, just people working on their village and decorating and the good sounds and the pretty colors and stuff like that, especially for like the games that we've been getting this past month and everything that's been going on in the world. Like everybody just has been digging into watching and playing Animal Crossing because it's just so fun.
It came out at a perfect time.
Exactly. Like it's the best right now. And like the whole world is dying and we have Animal Crossing to pick our spirits up. So that's why people are watching Animal Crossing. So, I mean, I feel like that you should keep on doing that and, just show people what you're doing creatively with your island when the more that you unlock and start doing like the design plans of stuff.
Man, I forgot that when I was playing that, I had to get, man, I'm still on them items.
How much debt do you have?
Man, look, too much. I think I owe like $348,000 on my third room, which is the kitchen. And then I guess the last edition is going to be like almost $1 million. So.
But what about your turnip stocks?
Man, I only got 20 turnips sitting on the floor at the house. I'm not like some people on the internet. I got to get like 1 million turnips and then get mad when the price of turnips go down. You bought all of them. I'm like,
what the hell is this kid?
No, because
crazy.
it's like,
and now next topic.
no. Okay, quickly. The lady comes through on Sundays.
No, I'm kidding.
She sell turnips at 101, right? So then you wait like a few days to see how the turnip prices go, and then I heard some be like $1,000 per turnip, but then you go as low as like 75, but you bought it for 100. So people on Twitter is acting stupid, like they flipping birds off these turnips. I'm like, man, it ain't that serious, man. It is not for me. So,
well, you mean people trying to like optimize or something like that, trying to like make the most money off of the turnips?
Yeah,
that's like every game now. It's
Literal
always that meta.
stock market.
Wait, do people actually like sell turnip? Can you sell turnips to other people?
No, you can only sell turnips for the people,
just to that person
on your island at the store. Yeah.
Got you.
That's it. That's all I've been playing.
Been playing stock market the game.
No, I got
pretty much.
I got real stocks to worry about. Then worry about turnip stocks and Animal Crossing. On some real shit.
What are you doing, T?
I could go next. Unless you wanted to go, Zeldrick.
No. I actually like to go last.
Okay. So I played like a whole bunch of stuff, but I guess I forgot that we haven't been going for, I guess it's 2 weeks now. But I'm going to mention one game that I played like a couple of weeks ago that I would have talked about last week. And that's Resident Evil 4 that I finally tried it. And like, maybe I'm just I think I might be just getting old. I'm like grandpa at video games now, but like I could not. I think I missed my chance at that being an amazing game because the controls just kill me. They kill me.
That's one of the issues.
It is, but this is like we've been graced with control schemes of other games and other third-person shooters. So like taking a step back, it's like you have to get your sea legs back of whatever the fuck tank controls are. So
yeah, but I get that, but I think the problem with me is like it's kind of like once you know that there's better. For me personally, it's hard to like look at the game with the same eyes as if like I'd had it when it came out, because with those eyes, I don't know that there's better. There isn't like, you know, a RE game that doesn't have tank controls. It's just this.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard for me.
That's very true. I will actually say that I've ran across probably more than a dozen people that will play like an older game and be like, damn, this shit's trash. And it's just like, well, this game was like, what, 2002, 2003? It's been like 18 years. So fucking what are you talking about? You got to like look back to see like what they were dealing with and what the technology was at the time. And was it revolutionary or was it not? Like you got to actually take your step back into the timeline. So
yeah, and that's why like my thing when I talk about it is like I'm not like this is a bad game, because I think that would be like kind of, it wouldn't be very genuine to say, because it's not that the game is bad, it's just that like the control scheme feels pretty antiquated. So I know like a lot of people, I know Sharpie, you said it's like one of your favorite games, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure if you, by the time you get to the this lake area, you'll get used to the controls.
I think it's like how clunky it feels to stop and aim with the same analog that you use to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you mean.
I don't know if I'm gonna get past that.
Letting you know that I'm pretty sure like if you just continued playing and then by the time you get to this lake area, like you'll be used to it by then.
So, I mean, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm not gonna stop. But sorry, go ahead.
No, but like my first Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 5, which had the same controls, and at that point,
did 5 have the same controls?
Yes,
really?
It had the same exact control scheme.
That was like the co-op one, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And before I had played that game, I played third-person shooters, and first-person shooters of having dual analog and everything. And then getting to Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 5, I was like, this is so weird, and it feels so backwards. I eventually got used to it. So, like,
yeah, I played through the entire game of RE5. I don't remember it having those controls, but it might have. I guess. Could be kind of more rose-colored glasses that I'm remembering this thing by, but like I said, I'm still gonna play it. It's just that I think I missed. It was kind of like Chrono Trigger in the sense that it took so long for me to play it that I feel like I had played stuff that basically had raised the bar with respect to what type of game that was. So it's kind of hard for me to appreciate it as much as like somebody who has like that nostalgia for it because they played it back when it was like revolutionary. Like I said, I'll still play it. I've actually watched a bunch of people play the game. So it's not like, again, I don't think it's a bad game. Like it seems fun story wise and fun in terms of action, but it's just like super frustrating in terms of controls for me. So I played that. And then the other game that I played a bunch of was GTFO, which like I have some, is basically my three closest friends, that I play games with sometimes. Like we hadn't played anything in a long time, so we decided to like get together and do something. That's actually why we started playing Full Metal Furies like a couple weeks back, and we had no idea what the hell it was. But like we played GTFO, and like it's actually cool that now we're kind of getting used to how the game works. And actually, we ended up doing a lot better on this last run than we had done previously because it actually took us at least, I think, 3 or 4 runs to even finish one of the attempts where you set off the alarm on the door and then you have to go and stand in spots to shut off the alarm and then kill all the enemies. Like I think it took us 3 or 4 times before we even killed all of them. Like we actually survived that little encounter, and now we almost we've had a couple times where got to the end of the mission. Well, so if you guys don't know, like, you know, you have to collect basically in the game, they drop you into this area and you have to collect these 2 items for, I guess, whoever is the mastermind behind all this or whatever, to gain your freedom, and then bring them both to the extraction point, and then you win. We've gotten one of them to the extraction point and almost got to the second one, I think, this last time we played. But so we haven't fully won one yet, but we're actually, like, as time goes on, we're getting like a lot better. And I know, Zeldrick, you just got it, right?
Yep, I just bought it.
And then, yeah, and Sharpie has it.
So it's just me, huh?
It's okay. So
I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but apparently only one person don't got the game.
Well, I mean, Zeldrick said he got it on GMG for like 28 or something.
Yep, for $28.
Which I think is what I got it for when it was on sale on Steam too. I was about to say.
So, LadyInfamous,
I'm gonna have to wait till I go on sale.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's on sale right now.
$27.92.
20% off.
$27.92.
You mean more sale than that?
$27.92. $27.92. That's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The deal ends in less than 24 hours. So, I mean, like, if you want to get it now, then, like, go for it. If you can.
At the same time, though, you do want to make sure that you meet the minimum system requirements.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But it'd be cool to get some games with you guys. So I assume everybody's going to want to play in the future. It's just a fun game. It got like a lot more fun.
But it doesn't,
Sharpie will have to
I don't know. I can't do keyboard and mouse.
Well, that's
how
the
you
thing.
Learn.
That's the reason why I wanted us to keep playing Prop Hunt, is so that you can get your keyboard and mouse game on.
It's
a good
easy. Point. You got to get used to it at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. No, you'll eventually, once you start getting used to it, you're gonna be like saying "fuck the controller." That's how I was. I mean, when I first started playing Counter-Strike at a net cafe, like back in 2002, I was like saying, "God, I don't know how this keyboard." I used to use arrow keys to use to move around, but my friend says no, use WASD and stuff like that. So. And then, like, I was using arrow keys.
Oh, I did that too a long time ago.
Yeah,
that was like intuitively the arrows made more sense, but then you can't reach anything else besides the arrows. Yeah, but yeah, it's a fun game. Like I said, hopefully we all get to play some in the future. And then the last game, I just saved it for last because I'm not the only one that played it. Was Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I'm actually curious. I don't know. I know, Zeldrick, you played it too. How far are you at this point? Did you finish it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he beat that.
Okay.
That's why I
was going to say, because I saw you stream like yesterday and the day before or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we saying, Sharpie?
Oh, nothing. I will talk about it later.
Yeah. What do you think of it so far?
I want to hear like the rest of what you played, and
that was it. This is the last game. I'm not going to mention anything else.
Okay. So I love it. Like, this remake is really good. And like, there's just bits and pieces that by the end of, like, when you get to the end of the game, where I was just like, I now don't understand some stuff that feels like artistic liberty. But it's one of those things of, you need to start to think about it.
Artistic liberty, like different from the original?
Right.
Like they try. Oh, really? Okay.
Where you think it's like, oh, this is like stuff that they're just changing with the story or whatever. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I went through with this game where I was like, this is different and I don't know why. And like, where like most,
like, what's an example?
It is like, say for example, the very beginning of the game, and like how Sephiroth shows up as like a figment of Cloud's like vision or imagination, and he walks into the alley, and like that sort of thing. It's just like, well, that was different because in the original, Cloud just leaves the reactor and he sees Aerith, but then like, why this diversion?
I was like watching LadyInfamous stream in this game, and I was like, this stuff is coming up way different. Like the order of it was coming up like so different.
Because fast.
It felt super fast.
I was like, yo, I'm about to be in these tunnels for like 30 minutes, 2 cutscenes, and we was already at the other side at section 7. I was like, what?
I'll leave the rest of like what we'll of our breakdown of like Final Fantasy VII later. But I'll just like right here, I'll leave it as like I really liked it. I really liked it.
I think it's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's like what I've been hearing around the internet too. I heard it was like it's really good, but it doesn't feel like a full like a full Midgard Final Fantasy VII section because the story changed so much.
Yes. So like,
did they like leave out a bunch of stuff?
No. The expanded story everybody liked, right? But there are some key elements in the game that I heard people say like they changed the story by a significant amount.
So like I think the thing about this remake like that everybody also agrees on and it needs to be said is the characters are really, really good. They're voiced really, really well. Their personalities are so fleshed out, all of this stuff. And so yeah, I really liked it. And I liked
especially Jessie.
Fucking Jessie.
I don't remember her being that thirsty.
Yeah, I was like, Jessie, I was like, damn, she died. But she wasn't thirsty in the original. She wasn't thirsty.
Right? I did not remember that at all.
She was a DTF at the remake. She was DTF.
And what I said was they made her more attractive than she was implied to be in the original.
Well, I mean, dude, I bet you that's probably because they seemed like they tried to make a little bit of a, like she liked Cloud. So it's like, I don't know if they're kind of, we'll air quote it and say a love interest for whatever reason. They're like, oh, let's just make her hot rather than having like some, chick that you're like, oh yeah, Cloud never get with her when he has Tifa, need to make her homely or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I think a lot of stuff. Yeah, they did change some stuff. I remember like there's the Hell House, which is a boss now. Like versus like it was a random enemy you would just like fight in the original game.
I mean, do we want to just like start talking about like the breakdown of it now? Like,
oh no, I'll just give a quick
after we get around.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they did change some stuff, but like overall. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I actively decided to not go back and play Final Fantasy VII before the remake came out. Mm-hmm. But like, I didn't really, there's certain things where I'm like, I don't remember that, but I'm like, other than that, I didn't really notice it. It felt to me like it was a really good remake of the original game. The only thing would be is just like, to what degree do you think it should be hyper accurate to what happened in the original game? And I'm like, I want it to be kind of like similar, but yeah, you can change some things. I don't mind that. It's 20 years later or something like that. So, in other words, like I'm still having fun with it. I think I might be on chapter 13 or something. Like it was right after you got out of what is the name of it? What's the name of the place with like Wall Market and
that is Wall
there's
Market.
Like a second time where you have to go around and like do a whole bunch of missions for people, but I don't think it's in Wall Market.
Oh wait,
it's in one of the slums.
In one of the Sector 5, like outside of Aerith's house. Next to it?
Yeah. So you have to go back there a second time. And okay, so maybe I'm on 15. So I'm on like a section where like all of a sudden you're scaling up buildings and stuff like that right after you climb that wall. When the second time you get the grappling gun.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's 15, chapter 15.
Right? Yeah. So I'm there, but I've like enjoyed it thoroughly so far. The only thing I would say is that like some of the missions got a little annoying for me depending on like which mission it was, like the mission with the hands and like with the robotic hands that you had to control, that got kind of annoying for me. Mm. And anytime that one mission where they told me to find like all the music tracks for that little girl.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I was annoyed by that one.
Well,
I had already found like 30 of them and I'm like, that's not enough.
Like, no.
It was a very
like,
specific
they're not happy. They're not dance. I know they were specific ones. It didn't really take me that long to find it afterwards, but I think it was more so that I just mentally going into it was like, God damn it. Like it was the same as when you had to find the kids in the first slums where it's like, if you tell me to find something and then don't tell me where it is, like that kind of frustrated me considering there's a lot of places you can go to find things. So that was it. But other than that, like I love it. Like just, a couple of those little annoyances that are just kind of like my own personal pet peeves. But yeah, so that was like played a whole bunch of that. That was probably like 5 out of 6 of the streams that I did in the last week. And the last one, I'll just bring this up. It's not a game, but I actually tried the watch party on Twitch. If you got I guess Sharpie, it sounded like you didn't know you didn't know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got an email about it.
Yeah, so it was interesting. Like it was the idea is really like, I guess you do a full screen video of your stream, and when people go to join your stream, they don't see just a full screen of you. They see a little small version of that video in the upper right hand corner, but then they also get to watch whatever you're watching simultaneously so that they can talk about it with you or whatever. Which I thought was a great idea. I'd been kind of waiting for that. So I watched a little bit of anime, watched Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. The one problem I had with it was that it requires Amazon Prime, not just for you, but anybody who's watching it.
Yeah. So
essentially I was thinking people are just going to be able to find my stream and come and talk about it and watch or something. But then it's the most people I had in there, I think might have been 5. And it's probably because it's so restrictive of that. And maybe that's something that'll change in the future, but it's a cool idea. I would love to be able to watch a bunch of anime.
Cool if it was also including YouTube and Crunchyroll.
Actually, that would actually be cool if it was Crunchyroll.
Yes.
What's that?
Food Wars watch party.
Oh, Food Wars. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just being able to pick an anime that's really cool and watch it. I think YouTube would be a great idea just because it's not, I'm guessing it wouldn't be as much of an issue in terms of is it copyright? I think, yeah, in terms of having somebody's intellectual property on there. But I guess Amazon was just being stingy because they were all Amazon originals or whatever. So stuff you can only watch on Prime. But
yeah,
it's a nice little experience.
I when I read that email, I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And then I got to that line where it's just the viewers have to have Amazon Prime too. And I'm just what's the point then?
You know what the dumbest thing about it though was?
Yeah.
It's not even just that the viewers have to have Amazon Prime to watch. The minute you start doing that watch party and you have the content up, they can't even chat with you unless they have Amazon Prime. There was another streamer I know named Jagtress who was in this, happened to stop in the channel right before I had started it when I was just having a shot or whatever. And she was talking to me and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this watch party thing. She's like, okay, cool. And she sat, she was talking to me. And then all of a sudden I started it. And there was nobody talking. I was like, can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I was like, maybe they stepped away or something. And then she sent me a whisper, I can't chat with you anymore. It's I think as soon as you don't have, as soon as you can't join that watch party, you can't talk to the streamer anymore.
That is 100% bullshit.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
You might as well just put yourself as just chatting and start watching YouTube videos together.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
I was able to chat with you when you were watching.
When I was watching.
Mod.
Oh yeah. Do you have Amazon Prime though?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what I'm saying. You can't chat if you don't have Amazon Prime.
Don't have it. Okay.
Yeah, you can't be a part of the watch party really. I think all you can do is you could go to the person's stream and it'll show their video full screen and you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
Which is now you're just watching somebody watch something.
Yeah, and it seems that this is going to fall along the lines of subscriber only streams.
This is our way of incentivizing.
Yeah, it's incentivizing using your Amazon Prime on someone so that you can join them with the watch party. But then again, how many people on Twitch have Amazon Prime and then have their Amazon Prime on a specific streamer? Not that's not the case, but it incentivize it's pushing connecting your Amazon Prime to your Twitch and getting Amazon Prime. It's dumb because whenever I see big name 1,000 viewer chats or whatever, I still see maybe 5% of them have the Amazon Prime logo next to their name.
Well, yeah, most people don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's
or it's not connected anyway.
This is really a weird take.
It's a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. That was it. What about you, Zeldrick?
I already mentioned Final Fantasy VII. And I actually did get to a point with UT where I was like, fuck, I hate that he's farther in the story than me, and like he's getting farther than me now. I really got to put in the hours to beat this.
Oh, I thought the same exact thing while you were playing.
God damn it.
Because we kept going back and forth.
Yeah, and then as soon as like I saw you playing like GTFO, I was like, oh man, this is my shot. And I took it.
Well, yeah, because you like, it's kind of like you don't want to watch somebody stream when you haven't seen it yet. You're trying to get like that first play with blind playthrough experience. But if you like watch somebody else play it, then you kind of know what's coming.
It's half that, and then half me being childish and being like when I was in grade school.
I want to beat it first.
But I want to beat it first. Like I pre-ordered it, and like I've been waiting for this for a long time and talking about it. I want to beat it first, and that sort of shit. So I was just being stupid. I also played and beat Resident Evil 3, and like go figure. Like I mean, in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, I beat Resident Evil 3, the remake.
So what is this whole thing about it being too short?
God, it's so short. It is fucking, it's so short.
Is it just like comparatively? Or is it just like a short game in its own right?
I can't say how short it is compared to the original Resident Evil 3.
Well, I was thinking more so like RE2.
To RE2?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is significantly shorter. Like, here's the thing, like here, let me pull up my Steam right now and show you the amount of playtime on both of them. And I will cut a few hours of like Resident Evil 2 because I did go back to it and play it.
Like those letters or something like that, right?
Yeah, to get one letter from Jill.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I have 43 hours in Resident Evil 2?
Well, howlongtobeat.com shows Resident Evil 2 as main story 8 hours and 3
it
for
wasn't that
6
long.
hours.
Did you beat it twice though?
But here's the thing, Resident Evil 2 is different because like I will say that it did take me maybe about 14 hours. 12 hours?
Yeah, well, it says main
hours?
and extra is about 13 hours for 2. And then for 3, it said like main with a little bit of extra is about 8.
With how long
with
to beat
extras.
and on Resident Evil games, you can't trust that because like everybody goes through Resident Evil games differently on their first playthrough. So like if you were just beelining it for main story, it's like people are going to get stuck or stopped or whatever. And I don't know, like people that don't play these games, kind of like me, we're going to take longer on it than how long to beat, even if we're just gunning it. But I think I spent 13 or 14, I beat the game the first time, 13 or 14 hours, and maybe about 12. Oh, that's right, because there's a second playthrough with Claire that I did. So yeah, like I will say in total 20 hours ish, 22. But I'll take like the first playthrough with Leon. So 13 hours. Resident Evil 3, my total time on Steam is 12 hours for one playthrough. And that's not it. So like every time when I died, I would go back to a save, not like restart it and like go back to a specific like checkpoint in time where like it would just bring me back to before I died, because I wanted on my save record that I didn't die. So in the game ending screen it did say 6 hours. It's significant.
Oh yeah, it's probably because you also had the game turned on while you're getting ready to stream and stuff like that too, right?
For probably at most like 5 minutes at a time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
sometimes
not
I
that long.
leave the game on for like 30 minutes before it starts.
Yeah, I do that too.
I never do it that long. It's like if I ever like turn the game on before the stream, it's probably for at most like 5 or 7 minutes. Otherwise, like I don't have the game on and then I turn it on and then my capture hooks onto the game and everything's fine. So, because I don't fuck with anything and it just I said it and it works. So, but anyways, then I'll say 12 hours for total time on Resident Evil 3. Significantly shorter, because I know that like with the Resident Evil 2 playthrough, on one playthrough, I did spend more than 14 hours on the end game than the end game screen said. So like I would guess like maybe 20 hours on one playthrough. So it's significantly shorter, and it sucks because the amount of story content that you have with Resident Evil 3 is like DLC for Resident Evil 2. That's all it is. And this comes down to
assets.
Well, yeah, they reused assets, definitely. Like they reused assets
with the same lock combinations.
Fucking yeah. So the top of the Raccoon City PD, there's 2 locks that are the same exact code. I think there's other locks too than just those 2. But I noticed that those 2 locks had the same exact combination. And it's like, okay, well that's weird, but you know, Resident Evil 3 takes place like before and after Resident Evil 2. So and also at Raccoon City PD. So it's like, of course they're going to reuse assets. The fact that it makes sense that they would use the same lock combination. That's not like what I'm giving it fault, because that's kind of like playing within the story. So it's fine. It's more like this is a tour of Resident Evil 3 rather than this is a full Resident Evil 3 story playthrough. So they hit a couple of the story beats that in the beginning of the game. That's what I remember with watching playthroughs of Nemesis that are key. But then like other than that, like it was just short. And it was disappointing that it was $60 full price. I played like maybe $48 or $52 or something like that because Green Man Gaming shit.
But it sounded like you were enjoying it.
No. It is. I would say that I give this game high marks for like how it plays, how it feels, how it looks, everything. It's disappointing because of how short it is.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I knew that was gonna be. Yeah. I knew that was gonna be your problem. I was like, look, I'm like, Zeldrick gonna find out this game gonna be short, and he's gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Okay, I had something in mind and I totally forgot what it was. The one thing I heard, like the biggest disappointment about that game was like how like in 2, like Mr. X was just like he will just come out randomly. It seems like Nemesis was pre-scripted. So
that is one fault of this. That's one of the faults of this one, because in Nemesis, in the OG Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, like he's on your ass, like he's hunting you down, but he's more of a nuisance in Nemesis than OG Resident Evil 2 for like Mr. X or whatever is chasing you in that. If there is, like, actually answer me that. There is somebody chasing you down in Resident Evil 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, in Nemesis, he's more of a nuisance of somebody chasing you down. Resident Evil 3 Remake, he's pre-scripted. Every single point you see him at, he's pre-scripted. And he's not chasing you down. You get runway segments, linear segments of him just like chasing you down. You got to get around him or get to the next part. But that's it. He doesn't just randomly show up. And that's what I was hoping with this too, was that he would just show up and fuck your day up. And you have to either shoot him down or run away. And it's just disappointing. And I think what kind of tricks
disappointing in the best way possible.
I don't know about that. I think that one of the ways it kind of tricks you that you're going to keep running into him was one of the first segments. And that's when the underground train, the subway. It's about to go off. And Jill's like, I gotta distract Nemesis from you guys. And she runs away and Nemesis is chasing after her. And you get into that sequence running through halls. And then you get to the end where it's a roundabout. And it immediately tells you like, oh, like we're giving you this gun. Shoot him down. Blow him up. And she's like, yeah, so you do that. And he drops an item. And that's something that happens in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, like the OG. Like, he drops shit. And then you run away in the remake and you go through a vent. So I thought that, like, when he was going to keep coming up and people were going to be given a choice. I'm going to either run away or down him, grab an item that he drops, and then run away. But no, that doesn't happen. That one part happens, you get that item, and then you go into the vents. After that, everything was like a pre-scripted boss fight. And so yeah, it is like, I give this game high remarks. It's just disappointing. So
yeah,
now,
I get it. That totally makes sense.
Now, another thing about the with Resident Evil 3 remake is that this was developed by M2. And it's weird that we have to be specific about this because it's M-TWO. That's how you spell the company. And it's a subsidiary of Capcom. It's like a lower, I won't say like lower division. That's not really what it is, but it's a
subdivision.
Yeah, subdivision. It's essentially what you would call like From Software's A team and B team when they were working on Dark Souls. This is Capcom's B team, essentially. And so they handed this off to them. And then they gave Resistance to a different developer, and they're like, go nuts, like just make us Resident Evil 3, make us a multiplayer, and that's it. And there's a couple of points in Resident Evil 3 that change the events of what happens later on in the original series. So technically, this is a soft reboot of the Resident Evil series, and there's indications of that Resident Evil 4 is being remade as well.
Keep that shit.
Fucking yeah, well, of course they can. You'd say that because of cockroaches. Anyways,
they gotta look even more realistic.
I'm not even touching it. I'm not even. But they will change. They should change the controls when the remake come out.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's going to be like the first thing that comes to mind.
I mean, if it's going to be anything like the Resident Evil 2 and 3, like, yeah, they're going to change the controls. So a couple of things that people had noticed, one being minor, I don't really understand why, but or why this was a point to make, but it's Jill's combat controls or knife combat controls where she does a normal stab, but if you hold back and do a stab, she stabs and does a hop back. And it's kind of, I don't know how that plays into Leon's knife play in Resident Evil 4, but whatever. The other thing being that when you guys are in the hospital and Jill's waking up, and like the TV is blaring the news notification that everybody needs to evacuate, and like the bombs are about to drop to nuke Raccoon City. Like, everybody evacuate. In the original Resident Evil timeline, nobody knew that there was a nuke order sent to blow up Raccoon City. Like, that it was government mandated that, oh yeah, like, everybody nuke Raccoon City, like, we need to do this. It was just like immediately, like, Raccoon City is just gone. The detail of that somebody or like the military or whoever is giving orders to drop bombs onto Raccoon City. That detail is actually explained in Resident Evil 6, because at that point, when that detail is told, everybody is like, wait, what? They dropped nukes onto Raccoon City? Like, that was actually an order that was given, and just to blow everybody up? Yeah, like, that's the indication. Or that's another reason to say that, oh, they're doing a soft reboot of the entire series. One last part is that when you find some sort of details in, I think it's the lab, they say that, or I think it might have been the hospital, that that there's some it is the lab. They're doing some testing that's coming out of Europe, not specifically France. And that's kind of a small detail that's important because it could change Resident Evil 4 and like some details with that. The other thing that is, or my counter information with that was when I found an article that was, or like in the game, not an article, a journal that said that the Nemesis box, the box that Nemesis came from, was supposed to come from these airports and then get to Raccoon City. And I asked in chat, wait, what is this specific airport? Because it came from this airport, JFK, Raccoon City. The first airport was actually an airport that was in France. So, or I mean, that's what like somebody told me in chat anyways. So it's kind of up in the air, but I was listening to other, I guess, conspiracy theorists about all this stuff, about what's being made. That like some details in Resident Evil 4 are changing, and that's why they are making a remake of Resident Evil 4. And then a news article came out, I think within this past week, that I think it was only one article that I heard this, that like they were saying, yeah, Capcom is remaking 4. So so somebody actually officially said it at this point? I'm pretty sure that it was like this article said, yeah, we are remaking 4, like it's in the works. And I'm pretty sure like how they wanted to do this development cycle was exactly like From Software and the Dark Souls series, because Dark Souls 1, that was A team, Dark Souls 2 was B team, Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne was A team. So like it's the same thing with Resident Evil series. Like the first one was A team, the second one it was officially A team. Number 3 was B team, and they gave it off to B team so that they can work on Resident Evil 4 as A team. So that's my hypothesis on it, and I realized that I went on very long about it, but you guys didn't actually play Resident Evil 3, so the remake anyways. So yeah, we are getting a Resident Evil 4, and I mean, I have the original now finally, and I get to play it, but now it kind of like how Final Fantasy VII Remake was. I'm cautiously optimistic about where it's going, because I want these Resident Evil games to keep being the remakes anyways, to being these blockbusters and like really, really good games. And especially since the Resident Evil engine looks so goddamn gorgeous. So
I think they might have to stop releasing them every year.
That's what it is. They have to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are feeling the same thing. Like Resident Evil 1, the difference in time between 1 and 2 was a long time. And then between 2 and 3, it was like no time at all. So we're kind of Resident Evil out right now. I think we need some time off.
To me, I just think there's just too many zombie games.
We're getting onto that now. Again. I see, I would agree with you. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, like, is there?
I was going to say, I can't even think of what other, I mean, we obviously played World War Z, but that's not new. I don't know if I know many zombie games that have been coming out recently.
Well, not recently, but I'm just saying, like, you know, this past decade, it's just like, hey, you want to play a zombie game? You want to play a zombie?
Oh, yeah, people were kind of over that trend
from,
a while ago.
Angry Joe joke, right? Where, like, you know, other Joe was just saying, like, hey, you want to play a zombie game? It's like, yeah. I was like, hey, you want to play a zombie game? Yeah. Oh, you want to play a zombie game? God damn it, fine. Yeah. And then it's like, you want to play a zombie game? God damn it, how many zombie games do you want to play?
Yeah.
You know, it's like that.
I can't really say much else about my past 2 weeks. dabbled in some Killing Floor 2 here and there to get my FPS itch on. Final Fantasy 14 with my crafting and slowly grinding out alternate jobs. And I tried playing Risk of Rain 2 here and there, but it just became disappointing for me because everybody wants to play on insane or monsoon mode and I don't want to, and fucking I just want to have fun.
Do you like know some people that have it, or like were you streaming it?
No, I wasn't streaming it.
Oh, you just like know other people that have it?
No, I don't. Like the thing is on my friends list, there's a lot of people on my friends list that have it, but I'm just like, I just want to play one run. That's it.
Oh yeah, I was just curious who you were saying wanted to play it on insane mode.
Oh, randos. I would go into a quick play lobby,
randos, got you.
And everybody was always like picking monsoon mode and like selecting these artifacts to change the way the game is played. It's like, fucking, I just want to play normal on normal. Like, don't give me this shit. So,
well, yeah, I think at this point you're probably gonna just, in terms of randos, you're just gonna run into a bunch of people who have been playing it since it came out, and they're just looking for a challenge.
Yeah. So that's been my past couple weeks.
All right, cool. For me, this past few weeks, I'm going to start off with what I watched. Did any of you guys watch The Tiger King?
I have.
Nope. I still have
watched
not.
all 7 episodes.
It is the craziest, like, well, I wouldn't say reality because it's not like they planned this to be a reality show or anything, but it is the craziest documentary. It's like the most American thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like a car crash. You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
Yeah, you gotta see it. It's like, it's like people are like planning shit. It's like saying, oh, like I hate this person, so I'm gonna do this, and then it's like and then you think like, you know, there's 2 people that's just involved like having beef with each other, but no, there's like a third person there, and then he like runs like his own harem of girls and tigers and stuff like that, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, and this is real life, and I was like, wow, this is definitely real life. It's not.
That's probably why they made a documentary about it. They try to pick stuff that's crazy.
It was crazy.
Dude, you could be the brightest mind in Hollywood and you wouldn't come up with this story.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I highly recommend it. I'm not going to go any more details into it until you guys watch it. If you guys ever decide to watch it.
Wait, it's just me and Zeldrick that didn't watch it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little, maybe next week or a week after if you guys decide to watch it within the next week or 2. Another thing I saw was this thing called Densha the D, which is like, you know, Densha the Go is like a video game franchise. It's like a train simulator game in Japan where you actually drive, like it's like a simulator where on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 and like I think PS3 and like Nintendo DS, there, and some of them are on PC too, but basically, and then Densha the D is from Initial D, so they have like these crazy, it's about like some underground this high school kid who drives his dad's train and then gets really good at racing trains, then gets into like an underground world of train racing. How
do you race a train?
It's like the most ridiculous thing I ever read in my life. And then it says like, and then there's like some really ridiculous things like multi-track drifting and stuff like that. Like you drift, like the trains are like drifting on 2 separate tracks.
That sounds like
derailing, and like you like purposely derail and like you train bump into something and you literally jump and kickflip the trains and stuff like that. It was ridiculous. In fact, it's so ridiculous. I'll show you this image right now on how ridiculous this thing is.
I've seen this picture. No, I've seen this picture. Oh my God.
Yeah, it says like multi-track drifting. That's what it says.
It's a train where the front wheels are on one track and the back wheels are on a different track, and it looks like how you race the train. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I was reading up on that, and then
But you said you watched the show though?
no,
Or
no,
was
there
just
was
you
no
were reading
show.
it?
It was just
Oh,
it
okay.
was like a manga, and then a video game.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah. So and then people are like using like train simulators and then like doing the same thing with it and stuff like that. It's like super ridiculous. But other than that, you actually sent me a gift, which I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
What do you call it? One Step from Eden.
Yeah.
So I'll get to playing that.
Oh, how is it?
No, I don't know. I haven't.
He hasn't tried it yet.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
that game looks
because-
so good.
Yeah, this past week, all I've been doing was playing Valorant.
Okay, yeah.
There's
Start talking to us about that. How you loving it?
Dude, it is so fucking fun. I can't stress enough how good it is. Like I cannot see this game being played on the console because the aiming is very, very punishing.
Wait a minute. They said they're bringing this to console too?
No. I said I cannot see this being on console.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
because it's pretty punishing when it comes to aiming because it works like Counter-Strike,
Yeah.
where you have to do a lot of recoil control.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a general direction where you shoot like how most shooters are like Call of Duty and Overwatch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like you just aim at a particular direction, that's where it will shoot, and chances are it's probably going to hit something. No, that's not what this game is. And not only that, like the skills that you get and stuff like that, it's not like you just spam it everywhere like how Overwatch is. You have to be very tactical and really thought out like what you have to do with every skill that you get because you have to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, this is really and then like the maps are well designed too. And then like me and my friends, me and my other friend, we spent like 3 hours per night, like just being in the games by ourselves, just finding places to like angle like certain like abilities.
Yeah.
Like the most optimal way to like angle and like where people would most likely be standing and stuff like that. Like those are the stuff that we've been trying to do this past few days. Just running around like in an empty game, just just practicing.
Nerds. So I just real quick. Did you end up checking out that one guy? That one
I
guy.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like it more like because you really want to get into this, and I know that you watch Summit and a couple other people, but
yeah, all they do is just play, and then I watch Shroud play too, and then like I remember him saying yeah, right now there's like no strategy to this game because it's just people are just out aiming each other.
Yeah, and like it. And also that the thing is that it's in beta, so things are bound to change. But I thought you would appreciate like seeing someone like Dorius like talk about like okay, like communicating with his team. Okay, like do this, and then like afterwards be like, okay, this is what we did right, and this is what we did wrong, and all this other stuff. So, but I'm always like a fan of people that really want to get into something competitive and then like seeing or giving them resources that are from different angles and point of views. So
yeah, so that's what I'm doing too. I'm also making like video content, you should say. Like okay. I have one video up on my channel on like, what do you call it? Sage, which is the ice character, ice and healing character.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have one video about her for one map for one side, the attacker side who has to plant the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So I have that, but I don't know if it will work practically because all I did was just practice angles and stuff like that instead of it just being like, oh, how is this in a more practical sense? I mean, it came into use a few times in my games, but I wouldn't know how useful it is like professionally or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that learning comes with time and getting into real matches.
Yeah, and some of the things that me and my friends found, or me and my other friend, dude, there's like 18 of us just trying to like play this game. So it's like sometimes we have an in-house game if there's too many of us. But anyway, so we were like some of these angles with this one ability, you have to be like aimed. You have to be sitting at a very perfect spot, not a pixel forward or pixel back or pixel to the sides or anything. And you have to be aiming pixel perfect at this pixel perfect angle for it to work and stuff like that. I was like saying, this is not going to be in the video. Yeah, I have like a bunch of clips on my computer for that. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can use it, but like setting it up, like you'll probably be shot by the time that happens. While you're trying to find that right angle. And then if you did like hit it, you might put yourself at a disadvantage instead.
Somebody might use that to get that one play. Like, let me do this big brain play, and they finally nail it off. Like, you never know, but still, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, but it's very, very fun. It's really well done. It's better than that Resident Evil multiplayer game. I should tell you that on like servers work perfectly. They're all 128 tick servers, and like everything just happens to work fine. I mean, there's a few bugs here and there, but it's like for one of those forgivable bugs.
What was it?
I mean, there's like one where like there's this one character called Cypher where he can like reveal like the entire where all the enemies are. It's his ultimate where it allows he'll use like an enemy's dead body and then he'll like throw his hat onto it and then like a few seconds later it'll just reveal where everybody's is on the map just once. And then there was this one part where like this. We all thought that there were like, there was only 2 people left and they were both on, it showed that they were both on the other bomb site. So we went to like a certain bomb site, the other bomb site, but they were already there. And we're like saying, what the fuck? I'm sure they were on the other side and there's no way they could have gotten here way before us.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. And no, it's not the teleporter map for anybody that's listening. Yeah, so there was that too. It was what the fuck was that called? Oh yeah, Split, which is like this map that's based in Japan, and there's no teleporting available in that map. There's this other one where it happens in like the Middle East where there's like teleporters where you can enter and exit out of.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't want to get too much into it, but I'll say like, yeah, it's very well done. And how they market this thing is genius. I would say that it's very, very genius. Basically, you have to be watching people play this game on Twitch, which is a lot of earned marketing, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, in order to get the game, like not just being seen, this is how they use drops, and that's how you get the game, which allows people to want to play the game. It's like this perfect way of like marketing your game. I cannot did something right there.
So, but it's just to get into the beta, not actually get the game, right?
Oh, I mean, it's more than likely going to be a free to play game, just like
it's supposed to be free to play, I think. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that is a good marketing strategy for getting people to put more eyes onto it and to also like get people in the beta. I did see over Twitter that that they're just constantly opening up like spaces for the beta. Like it's there's essentially no limit to this beta for how many people are going to be getting in. Technically, it's a closed beta, but you just have to watch someone playing this game that has drops enabled to get into the beta. And it's actually not that hard to be able to get a beta key or access to the beta. So it's genius.
It's very good. I mean, I would say like I highly recommend it, but I know you guys, I'm not sure if you guys are into like, this type of shooter competitive.
I just haven't figured out, based on watching people play, is it not just that it's different? Is that why people love it so much? It's Counter-Strike enough, but it's different too. Enough.
Like how the guns feel, how the weapons and all that work.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like, why would you play it, for example, instead of Counter-Strike?
So my idea is like, it's not one of those like, let's reinvent the wheel. Let's take the wheel and then make it better, and then like add a couple of things to it. So like
that's the question. So it's like, is it better? Do people think this is better?
I wouldn't say it's better. I would say it's more like apples and oranges. But I think this game will try to be in competition with Counter-Strike. The reason why is because Valve announced a new Counter-Strike using the Source 2 engine.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Right. So so what I'm thinking is like this game. Okay. Not only that, this is more friendly to a broadcasting network and, like people in advertising, especially in China, because like, what do you call it?
Because it's not like military soldiers or something?
Well, not only that, it's like less violent looking and stuff like that. They're not using real guns. They're using like some made up guns, and
got you.
Like violence doesn't look as bad as like Counter-Strike and like Call of Duty and, all that.
Gotcha.
So it's like a lot more, I should say, it's cartoony. So it's like in that Overwatch type of thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so it will appeal to a more vastly wider audience than just Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or Rainbow Six, because those are like the more hardcore, I should say, or like a more niche audience. This is like a more broad audience.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just always curious because there's like, I think of how the whole trend with BRs went, where it's like every new BR was like the new thing to play, but then nothing latched on. After a while, it seemed like everybody kind of went back to the big ones.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, is it that it's just different from Counter-Strike, but it's still the same style of game? Or is it that it's just that good?
Yeah, it's that good. I would say that. It's that good. Not only that, what really also helps is having 128 tick servers. Meaning every second, message gets sent 128 times every second. Not like, in Counter-Strike, if you play on their dedicated server, it's 64. And then I think Call of Duty, it's 10. So that's why you get like super bullets sometimes in like Call of Duty.
Like super bullets?
Yeah, or like, because like, let's say a rate of fire is like, 10 times per second or something, or 10 times every 5 seconds or something like that. But then like the game refreshes only 10 times every second. So like sometimes, or let's say like a rate of fire is like, I don't know.
I know what you mean. You mean like it'll basically it'll look like one bullet killed you, but like it's probably just trying to catch up. So like 10 bullets actually hit you or something. Yeah. So it seems like one bullet is the super bullet. Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Interesting. But that was noticeable to you comparatively? Yeah. Because like people are like, because the idea is like, people peeking around corners. That's like the whole thing about tactical shooters. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. Compared to Counter-Strike, you noticed the difference?
I wouldn't say notice, but you can definitely feel it a lot of the times. Okay. Like you'll be like saying, you don't say like saying, how the hell did that, like that totally did not hit me. Like you don't hear people saying that all the time. Okay. Or as much, right? I mean, people don't really say that much on like that on Counter-Strike, but like, games like PUBG and Call of Duty, like you see that almost all the time.
I don't know. I don't play any of them.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely feel it in PUBG, and then sometimes and then a lot of times you'll feel it in Call of Duty.
Okay. That's cool. I guess we'll see if it becomes as big as Counter-Strike. Yeah. Actual competition.
Yeah. I mean, Valve is just saying like Source 2 for Counter-Strike. I was like saying, oh, wow. Okay. So they're getting ready for something. But anyways, that's it for me for this. Let's get on with the news.
All right.
Let's see what.
I actually think we want to talk about like Fallout 76 first because of like the new
let's
update.
do that.
Yeah, because LadyInfamous, you did play some of that, and I watched you play some of that too.
6-7 hours.
Yeah. which is funny. Like the fact that you put that much time into it after not playing it for a while. And
isn't that like 3 times as much time as you put into it initially? I swear you only played it. Did you say you only played it for like 2 hours or something?
I played
the original
Fallout 76.
No, when Fallout, when it first came out.
I didn't play that much at all. But I was patiently waiting for this particular expansion to come out, and I am happy to say that they made the game playable at least. It's a treasure. I don't know how many stories they have. I know they have one called Treasure Hunt, and that's what I immediately that's what I did. When you start off the game, they're going to direct you back to Vault 76. You can start talking with the NPCs, and it's going to direct you to people to talk to. They changed, and from there you go. I don't want to spoil it, but then you go through various missions trying to find certain items and things like this treasure hunt. The first round I played by myself, and then I played with a few people. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I was a little bit scared because I saw Mothman. I keep forgetting that with Fallout 76, there's like creatures like all over the world in that world that will fuck you up. And I'm over here at level 13, 14. So,
how was it playing with other people?
Fun. It's fun.
Like, do you feel like that enhanced the experience?
Because when you play together and you're playing, like, as far as with the Wastelanders DLC, I suggest you go in solo so you can be able to progress the story. So that's what public places. You can go in with your teammate, or you go in solo so you can do what you got to do. So I usually let them go in first, and then I'll go in behind them, because usually with the treasure hunt, I was letting other people get it, and since I already beat it, I beat the treasure hunt, so I already know. I will help them, so they'll do that, and I'll be dipping off in the cut. I also like that you can be able to do merchant, like barter and stuff with the Duchess. That's her name of the character in the DLC. So what I do is I turn in my junk, every garbage junk I have, I'll turn it to her, even though I don't like that damn near everything like sells for 1 cap. But I'm like, well, at least I can be able to like go in the world, pick up my weight limit, go back to the wayward, dump it off, and do something else. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think that I should have got this on sale still, because they should have had this. It should have had this first day in the game.
Yeah,
that was my they had it, like they knew. Like, we're going to give them this garbage ass shit day one, and then a year later we're going to give them the shit that they wanted. And that's what really kind of disappointed me about that. If I would have been playing much longer on Fallout 76, if what I played last week was presented to me first day it came out, I would have been on it. And
did they fix a lot of bugs?
The only issue, I had no bugs at all. The only issue I had, it'll like after like a few hours, it'll drop. The servers will drop, and I have to come back in. But other than that, it was no bugs. Not on my end.
Initially?
Well, there was bugs when I first played Fallout 76. The world, you could go in you can be stuck in a tree or stuck on some rocks or something like that. But I didn't have any issues with that when I played the Wastelanders.
So I want to bring back up like a question we had from the beginning. I think we were all kind of in agreement on this. So now that you got this, do you feel like it was valid that in the beginning when you were telling us how much you didn't like it, we were like, I think you just wanted a multiplayer Fallout game?
That's what I wanted, and that's what I got. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it sounds like that's what that made this essentially into.
Yeah.
Because before it was like, okay, you can do these missions, hit up these terminals, but they didn't have no NPCs to tell you where to go. Because when you speak with the NPCs and you have your points, like your special skills, those apply to the conversations that you have. You can have a one-way conversation, or maybe you have a high enough luck, or a high enough charisma, or a high enough intelligence, or high enough science to be able to open more dialogue. And that's what Fallout always has been. So I'm enjoying it.
Always have been. Have you played the first
nobody talking about
game?
1 and 2, man. We talking about 3 and 4 and New Vegas. Talking about 3, 4, and New Vegas. That's my experience with Fallout.
Well, I mean, if ever you get the itch or wanting to play like an isometric RPG, I would suggest dropping a couple bucks on Fallout 1 and or 2. Just to like get your hands on like what the original Fallout was like, because I do recall like the couple of my friends that did play it, that I mean story wise that they're good, and that really the Brotherhood of Steel were real fucking assholes in both of those. Like that's how they were originally painted. Not like this. I remember in 3 and 4 they were painted as like holier than thou, but they were also given this light of that they were the good guys. But in 1 and 2, like I was specifically told that no, Brotherhood of Steel are complete assholes. But I if you ever feel like you want to play one of those types of RPGs, then I would say go for it.
Like
again,
on Green Man Gaming, it's $35.16. That's if anybody, that's a good price.
Wait, for the original Fallout?
Fallout 76. I just said.
Oh, I was like, you're right.
Fallout 76
Okay.
Wastelanders.
That price, and now with this Wastelanders update, it feels like that now is a good time to get into Fallout 76 if you're even thinking about getting into it and you want to put money into Bethesda. Because when I was watching you play LadyInfamous, somebody was, I think it was either you or somebody else was saying that you forget that people are in your game until somebody is shooting outside.
Somebody shows up, like some random dude is next to you, like level 145 with power armor. And I'm like, oh, I forgot.
Exactly.
It's a multiplayer game.
Right, and that's what you should have been getting from the original, like the feeling of 76 is this is a Fallout game. Oh shit, there's other people with me, and they could fire at me. And when I was watching you play it, it actually looked like another Fallout modern game. So yeah, they were pretty lacking, and I think it's a good time to get into it. There was something else I was gonna say, but and I was also tagging on to like what T was saying. Like before, we just wanted like a multiplayer Fallout game. It's now but I'm going to still stick by my statement of they should have just made a multiplayer DLC for Fallout 4.
They should have.
If this is what they were gonna do, yeah. That way, like you already have the assets for NPCs.
If they would have had like a Fallout 4 multiplayer DLC for $30, I would have grabbed it. Exactly.
I think, but now that there's because of the way the route that Bethesda took on this, there's a mod I think for Fallout 4 PC where they add multiplayer to it. So I mean there is that, but this is what we got. So
I'm cool with that. One thing I do like about the game that I didn't encounter when I first played Fallout 76 until I recently played it last week. I did not get encountered by somebody like ill intent in the game. Like, okay, you're a level 10, I'm a level 50. I'm going to rob and shoot you because you can do that in the game. You can get other players on, even though like if we was in the Fallout.
What would you get from them?
Caps, but then there will be a bounty on your head. Like, say if you was in my world, you came and you robbed me and you killed me and you took my stuff. There's going to be a bounty on your head or caps. So people all over that world are going to be looking for you, trying to get that bounty. But I usually get good like interactions with other people, randos on Fallout 76. I'll wave, they'll wave back. If I trade, they'll try to trade with me. I had some randos just give me stuff. Like they'll give me stuff, and then like when you give people stuff or you drop stuff, it's in a paper bag. So, that's pretty cool that, ain't no assholes running around the Fallout world. At least I didn't run into any of them. But
I got a question. Is the entire world, the moment you hit go, like the entire world is contested, no safe zones?
No safe zones. I think probably your camp will be your safe zone. But I think they could probably hit you up in your camp too. But like I said, I never dealt with that type of aggression on that game. All I know is that you have a camp and you can, when you load up, if your camp is like garbage or made up, or, you know, I'm building my house on there. You can load up there, but I don't think it's like a safe area. Probably, if I would have to say, the Wayward would be a safe area. Any store or anybody that has NPCs in there, probably. But yeah, they can hit you up anywhere. I'm more worried about the animals than the humans in the game. Because
wait, why?
That's
do they randomly attack you or something?
Because
you're more worried about the animals.
The wildlife in Fallout 76 is really dangerous. Like, you can be looking for something, and there could be, like I said, I found a level 30. Like, I was playing at night, I was getting these wolves, and there was a stalking mothman creeping around a tree, and those are level 35s, and I'm a level 13, 14. So I'm like, no, I can't get with that. I ain't got no bullets. You could be well under-equipped for these fights. You have Mylark's Queens, you got Death Claws, you got radiated rad roaches, you got mole rats, there's a whole bunch of wildlife that can fuck you up.
Wait, did you just say roaches?
Yeah, they got red roaches.
You still played, huh?
I avoided. I was playing, and I'm like, you know, if it's a house or a basement or something like that and it's dark, I'm like, you know, there might be some roaches in here. So I come in there and I have my sights ready. Like like I'm in the room and I'm like, got my sights ready in case they'll be on the wall. I had an ant mess me up. I'm like, come on, man. I had an ant mess me up. A fire ant. So yeah, the wildlife in Fallout will mess you up real good. I ain't gonna lie to you though. I might double dip and get this on PC.
Really? What for?
I don't know. So I can play with some of my PC friends.
Okay. I just didn't know if you. I thought like most of the people that you knew playing this game was on Xbox. Yeah. That's why I was wondering.
I know, but I want to see how PC goes. You know, but you know, I can always put it on the wish list and wait till it get real low. You know.
Yeah. So the update notes for this as a breakdown. People are back. Whether in search of rumored fortune or mere survival, people have returned to Appalachia in droves. Get to know them through the new dialogue system. New main story.
People are back.
Huh? I'm sorry.
People are back. Yeah. That's what it actually says that in there.
Yep. That's one of the points right here on the official website. People are back with an exclamation point. Meet the factions, the raiders at Crater, settlers at Foundation, and you have a reputation system. You can recruit an ally, so certain NPCs can come to live in your camp, help defend it, and offer you daily quests. Some also bring story quests and romance opportunities.
I didn't even get there yet. I didn't even get there yet. I didn't even know. I thought it was a treasure hunt and that was it. But apparently,
you're about to find your lover in the Wastelands. More events and dailies. New items and enemies. Hunt down the monstrous Wendigo Colossus or a pack of floaters. But don't forget to pack your new Gauss minigun. And then new and updated locations. New arrivals in Appalachia are certainly making their mark on the world. Discover new and updated locations as you quest and explore. So just this Wastelanders update just makes it like the Fallout game. This right here makes it a Fallout game, but you have like an online component. So that's cool. Yeah. That's good. After like a year or so later.
Is it worth it now?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I would say that after LadyInfamous has spent another 20 hours in this game, then we'll see, because Fallout games take a long time.
I got you. I'm gonna stream.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I guess isn't that at this point it's gonna be basically like $100 investment?
Not if you spend.
Well, not only that, they also have like
the DLCs are free.
In-game currencies.
Well, see, that's up to you if you want to spend extra money on that shit. I'm not spending atoms so I can get like cosmetics and stuff like that. The only thing I've been using my atoms for is for repair kits for my guns. But you can acquire atoms doing like little things in the game. But I wouldn't recommend you buying, like, spending actual money on atoms to make. I don't think you need that to make your gaming experience.
To get a blue armor, $20.
I'm good. I don't think you need that to enjoy Fallout 76.
I remember, like, on the initial, like, Bethesda talk, they said there won't be any of that in there.
Well, all I know is...
That's how they get you to buy the game.
All I know is that I think Zeldrick said this, that a game should have an opportunity to make themselves better. I think that's what you said to me, or was it you that said that, Zeldrick?
That would... I'm pretty sure that was me that said that because of the No Man's Sky situation.
Okay. So...
if a game comes out as a flop and like they have an opportunity to fix it, it doesn't wash them of their sins, but you can at least make yourself better because you fixed what was broken and what people actually wanted.
Because this is what people actually wanted. So I'm cool. Look, like I said, I'm waiting till the price go down, getting on PC. I got to. Because I really enjoyed those few hours that I played. I died. I got surprised. Okay. I got scared. So,
you sure you don't want to put in some more though before you make that judgment call?
Okay. All right.
Are you gonna make this your main game instead of Call of Duty now?
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
See, this is what's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna get the weekly report every podcast of. So, how was Fallout 76 for you this week?
That's fine. That's fine. Because I was planning to play it tomorrow.
Cool. And you can catch her on LadyInfamous 415 on Twitch.
Yeah, don't forget that part.
Speaking of making games better, Crysis Remastered.
Yo, I don't even know what this game is.
Prepare your PCs,
Have
bro.
you not heard of the memes about like can it run Crysis?
Yeah, I heard that.
Prepare your
I'm not getting it. Crysis on console. Let's go.
Before we even like start talking about this,
what is Crysis?
Do you guys
know? I don't know what it is.
Well, it's not really like what is Crysis. What I was going to bring up is, do you guys know why that meme came about?
Because the graphics,
like technically why?
Graphics, it has. I guess the graphics, the graphics changed the game as far as PC gaming and what the limits of what they can put out. I guess because I guess it was graphically good at the time. Am I right? That
is what a lot of people thought, and that's
but I bet it just wasn't optimized, right?
Exactly. People in CryEngine and everybody like that played this game and the reviewers were like, oh yeah, because it's like it's technically advanced and it's graphically impressive and stuff like that. It's like, no, Crysis 1 was severely poorly optimized. It did not run well at all, just on a coding level for all the shit that they put into it. So it was just a disaster in what a game was, just functionality on how it ran. Like how you played it and mechanically and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's a first person shooter and it plays, and like at the time I guess it looked really good, but it just like you needed a very powerful computer at that time to run it. And then like a couple of articles that I've read about it talking about the original Crysis, they were like, yeah, even hardware today has trouble running it.
Which that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just playing a game, or I bought a game which I got a refund back because it was
for
that exact reason.
On an updated CryEngine, no less. Like, so, and that was made by a different developer though, right? Not actual.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was not CryEngine that made that game either.
Okay, it was just on their engine though.
Yeah.
So. It's kind of funny that like it's a Crysis remastered in the way that they put it. First of all, it is coming to both console and PC, so all consoles, including the Switch and also PC. I have to specifically say Switch because you could say console and PC, but Switch is left out But
I just can't imagine how this is gonna look on like the Switch.
well, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
technically, it's been over a decade now, right?
Yeah,
it's
no, but what if it gets like
now Crysis can run on the Switch? We can say that.
However, when you look at the video, that is supposed to be in game, it's like maybe 30 seconds of a video footage because the rest of it is like just text. It's not like that it's remastered, it's a remake, like full stop. Because like if they took the original game and then just slapped a bunch of pretty assets on it, or like just that sort of thing, it would still run horribly. So they have to build it from the ground up to actually run well. So they're actually remaking Crysis 1.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And this is good because like I have Crysis 1 when I played it, and I played it with my previous processor, which was a i7 4790K, which is technically that's 4th generation Intel. It ran fine. Like I don't remember it chugging or anything like that. It looked horrendous because it was, original Crysis 1, but like it ran fine. Like I didn't notice anything bad about it. But now we actually get to play a game that doesn't look like dog shit and also runs well.
But like, I guess, I don't know. I never played it. You guys played the original?
I played
I tried.
Why you tried?
I played the first like 2 hours.
Okay, because I'm curious if it's like I don't even necessarily know what the draw is to this game anyway. I never played it. I remember hearing like a lot of buzz about it when it came out. But
Stunning.
You mean like
the original though?
Yeah.
Like at the time
now?
Yeah, at the time. Yeah. It looked visually crazy. Like I don't even think Unreal was at that level at the time.
Okay. But do we think that's going to happen now?
Who knows? I mean, like,
I would suggest watching the 1 minute clip. I just had it too.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I see like some really cool looking environments and things of that nature. But the question is like, I guess, again, I just don't know because I don't have the experience of playing it. It's like, is it just going to be like a cool looking game that isn't that great of a game? Because I don't feel like I've ever heard really people say that much about it being like an amazing game, just that it was pretty. And I've seen gameplay of it where it didn't look that amazing either.
I think for me, when I did play it, it was kind of like just controlling it was really awkward. And because it looked super dated, that's why I stopped playing it.
To me, it always looked kind of like, what is it called? What's the other game where you're kind of going through the jungle and you like kill a bunch of, they're not terrorists.
Far Cry,
I don't know.
The first one?
It's Far Cry. There you go. It looked very Far Cry-esque. So it's like, so that's the question. Like, do you have like, people seem to love Far Cry. So it's like, is it just like a pretty looking game that's not as good as Far Cry?
I actually couldn't tell you because the thing is I was interested in playing it. It's just that it was just super awkward to control and it didn't look good. So yeah, I can't even tell you when I last played this game.
If it's on discount, I might try it, but
last played it in 2016.
Like cheap.
That's when I played it. And
2016?
I played it in 2016 and I played for 70 minutes. And I immediately put it in the pile of games I won't get to.
Yeah. Look, it looks pretty. It definitely looks pretty.
However, I wonder, because Crysis 2 was made in 2012, I think, and Crysis 3 was a year or two later. I played the multiplayer beta of Crysis 2, and that shit was fun as hell. And so
really? I don't remember hearing almost anything about 2.
It was just visually the UI and how you play the multiplayer, because when you play, because Crysis 2, you have 3 modes. You have stealth mode, armor mode, and strength mode. Stealth mode makes you nearly invisible. Armor mode makes you like super buff and like you take reduced damage. And then strength mode, the only thing I remember was faster climbing and running. And you switch between those 3 on the fly, and you have to manage your energy meter when you're using these modes. And doing that in a multiplayer setting, it was not too much to take in, but it was enough to make it different, where it was super fun to fight other people. So also just like the sounds and what your character would say when going into stealth mode and armor mode and stuff, it sounded really, really cool at the time. So I was totally digging
stealth
it.
mode.
Not even that. It was like kind of like a little bit robotic and deep and stuff. And
Yeah, I'm just joking.
but like I don't know if they're just gonna remake 2 or 3 after this one, or if they're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna discount 2 and 3 and you can play the rest of the series. But like I remember everybody talking about Crysis 1 as like a joke. Crysis 2, people talked about that it was good-ish, and then nobody said anything about 3. Oh
yeah, I totally forgot about 3.
Yeah, exactly. 3 dropped off the radar like immediately. But it dealt with like aliens too. So I think like the story started off like pretty good and interesting, and then 2 was like, man, this is a pretty good, and 3 just dropped off the radar.
Yeah.
So
I forgot if I read this right, but if the this remastered Crysis has like some in-game ray tracing instead of using hardware-based ray tracing.
I don't know. I didn't even read that far into the article or whatever they're talking about. So, I don't know.
Oh well,
Maybe.
Whatever.
He said whatever.
I mean,
this game was just like, it was just like the meme for the longest time. Can it run Crysis? And
now it's like, now everybody can run Crysis.
Yeah, including the Nintendo Switch.
I don't know about that Switch though.
So I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm. Another piece of news that I saw was, did you see Amazon France and Italy like listing a bunch of PlayStation titles for PC?
I just saw this article, and like how there was
including
a bunch of fake
firmware update for Windows.
There's been a bunch of fake listings for PlayStation games. And 2 of them specifically to point out is Persona 5 and Days Gone.
And Gran Turismo Sports.
Oh yeah, that one was also listed, and that was a fake as well, right?
I think so.
It would have to be out of tune.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, but whatever. I just wanted to bring that up.
So yeah, like, I mean, everybody don't get their hopes up about like a PlayStation PC port for like everything right now. So the fact that we're getting Horizon Zero Dawn and also kind of like the rumored Bloodborne, like that one's still up in the air. Like I don't remember seeing anywhere that one was denied. Fucking, I would love to run that at 60 frames. Holy shit, that would be so good.
Playing Bloodborne,
that will feel so good. I mean, yeah, I do too.
Man,
I beat it enough times. I'm good.
Shut up.
I want to hear you say some shit that ain't true.
Yeah, just like when you say the kind of shit that we don't think it's true when you said, oh, I should be playing other single player games instead of Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play more PC games, y'all.
I just bought a PC game like 30 minutes ago. What you talking about? How about Get the Fuck Out? I think it runs.
Oh, nice.
Runs.
Fine, I'll get the fuck out.
Another thing that I saw was Nvidia, like new line of cards being announced in August.
This might be some good things, good news to keep track of, especially since like usually when you get a latest card or a top tier card or whatever, you kind of want to skip a generation before you start looking into a new card. So,
or at least like 5 tiers of hierarchy of your current card.
Right. So, was there anything else about that?
No, not really. I just wanted to say that just so we said it.
Oh, okay. No, like
for SEO purposes.
I'm sorry. What, T?
No, just that I'm surprised they would make that announcement. Like considering, everything that's going on, how like that could affect people's ability to like be ready to release like new cards or something like that. Just in their development cycle because of everything being all crazy at the moment. I'm surprised they would actually make that announcement. I would assume they would just wait until like they're sure that they're probably going to have like the cards coming pretty soon. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you just have to, just to keep yourself on people's minds. Like, yeah, we still got new stuff coming. I don't know. We'll see though. I still skipped, I already skipped a couple. I skipped all the 20s, and I skipped the 1080 Ti when that came out, and I skipped all the 20s.
Yeah, because you and I got the 1080 like the moment it pretty much came out.
Basically, yeah.
And Zeldrick got his for free.
Hey, I mean, like,
Sure.
I got into a contest for Destiny 2, and they gave me a 1080 Ti. It was like a 1 in a million
That was a blessing.
shot.
That's a
and
blessing.
I was like,
That's
fuck it.
a blessing. Don't let nobody knock your blessing.
Exactly.
Okay? A free 1080? Shit.
That's what I call
a free
some
1080.
bullshit. I want one.
Oh, here's something. You guys know the game Myst, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard about this.
The
They're
movie
remaking it or something?
adaptation by the X-Men First Class writer.
Oh,
Wait
that's
a
gonna be
minute.
amazing.
Movie adaptation? I read that
Yeah.
it's a show.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I read it was movie and then written by the X-Men First Class writer.
So I think this will turn out bad.
Oh, it'd be horrible.
Not in the case. See, here's the thing. Not in the case of, oh, it's a video game video game turned into a movie or a show or whatever. It's not that. You guys know what Myst is, like the original
There's like
game.
that's what I was about to say. The problem is like they're trying to adapt like some content off of something that doesn't really have much to it.
Right.
Like it's just you going around clicking on stuff and like it's I don't know. There's like, as far as I know, there's not really a story to it that much, right?
All the story is okay. So the original Myst has 3 people, I think, that you talk to in the entire game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All of the other stuff is from books and notes and all this other stuff that happened in the past, and that creates the world and lets you know that this is the stuff that you're like. This is the reason why all this stuff exists, and also dealing with the history of your character's children as well. Now, the joke I made to my friend was, so it's going to be you solve a puzzle and then you get a note and then you get a paragraph in and then flashback, like wavy sort of effect into what happened in the past. And that's every episode.
Yeah.
Realistically, yeah, it's gonna have basically nothing to do with the.
Do you think it's just about the
content.
first Myst though? Because I think story gets more expanded as when you play like Riven or something like that.
Exactly. It gets expanded when you play subsequent games. Now here's I'm gonna take direct quotes when my friend, who actually really liked these Myst games, what she said to me. The Myst thing is extra stupid because when it comes to shows made off of games, usually there's more going on, but Myst is mostly experienced through the eyes of the single player by themselves on the island. Think about how many times you interact with another person in the game. It's pretty much just the guy in the book and occasionally one of his 2 kids, but they're never really there with you until you release them. And when you release them, they're only there for a second. Also, the game is designed to be exactly what it is, so all the back and forth things you have to do to play make sense in game format, but that would be really boring for viewers to watch. Also, if they made it anything like the actual game, it would mostly be the one person standing in a forest staring at switches, or standing in a spaceship looking at a piano cursing because they have no idea what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's probably just going to be one of those things where they take sort of the vibe of it and make something out of it, but they're not really probably going to stick super hard to like, this needs to be representative of the original game.
Yeah. The last point, and actually this is a pretty good one, because this is something that is involving like video games and video adaptations of it. The other really big problem I have with this is that, I'm quoting my friend here, is that the whole thing that made Myst great was that you could actually be you. It is you who has been asked to help this guy who is trapping a book or tracking a book, and is you who is wondering because it's going to be forest, and it is you who gets tricked by his children and trapped in a book. There isn't really a way to give somebody watching the TV show the experience of it literally being them. And that's the thing with point and click adventures of like being the camera angle being your eyes, because this is a first person experience to give.
I mean, have we seen Doom?
Which Doom and no.
The one with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That Euro
Yeah, they had a whole first person sequence in that
that's
one.
Right. That's what it is, right? Did I say it right? Yeah. Did I say that right?
Eurojank.
Did I say it right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
but
did.
Also, another thing about the first Myst was for a 93 game, like visually, that was stunning.
There's I'm actually suggesting everybody watch this. There's an Ars Technica video of like developing like games and like the horrors they went through and stuff like that. They have a really, really good one on Myst, and I suggest everybody watch it because it's just technically so fascinating from 1993's perspective, and to show just how much developers go through with the times of developing these games. They also have one on Dead Space that's really, really good too. But anyways, like, I mean,
have you guys played through any of the Mysts?
No, I haven't. I've just watched bits and pieces of it. So
I've only completed the first
3.
one.
I haven't finished one yet.
Yeah, I only completed the first one, and they're
long ass games, right? Like they're pretty big. If I remember correctly,
I finished it in like 2 days.
It depends on how much you are able to grasp the puzzles and how much you're able to like read everything and like.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
The dots.
Yeah.
It's
and I watched people play Riven, and I tried playing Exile. Like a long time ago, like back in like 2001, but it wouldn't run on my computer at the time because of, they try to do the whole like 3D and like, real life videos at the same time.
Yeah.
So here's a different thing about this. What if instead they did this as a choose your own adventure like they did with Black Mirror Bandersnatch?
Oh, Bandersnatch, yeah.
Do you think that would be better?
Be cool. I'd like it.
Okay. I just think that would be a better personal experience, but like not make it like the Netflix sort of like, here you have to click like a couple of these buttons, but like as a video or like release a digital format of choose your own adventure for this. So like it kind of stays true to the original format, but also gives a more visual experience of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually pretty intrigued by like all the Myst storyline.
What do you find intriguing about it?
It's just like it's like way out of this world, and it's very like open. Like you're on like, especially I think like Riven, you're on this island, and like and then there's like this little roller coaster like vehicle thing that you get on. And I was just like saying, man, that would be so cool to have in real life. Like just to get from one place to another. Like, I remember like seeing that, and I was like, and then it was a FMV too, or it wasn't like real life FMV, but it was like, rendered FMV. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
But I don't know anything about like Exile or Revelations or End of Ages.
You mean Riven?
No, Riven. I know quite a bit about, but I don't know anything about Exile, Revelations, or End of Ages.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't feel like I even know those existed. I thought it was just like 1, 2, 3 and Riven. Riven is 2. Oh, is that 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I just remember hearing about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And then Exile is 3, Revelation is 4, and End of Ages is 5.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and then there was like another game that they made called like Abduction, like not too long ago, or maybe maybe it was like a few years ago.
I think I own that.
Abduction was good. I did play that one with a friend of mine. And yeah, it was pretty good. Sierra is actually making a VR game, and I totally forget what the name of it is. But yeah, I'm totally excited for another sort of Myst type game, but in VR.
Nice.
So there, I think a news topic I kind of want to pass by is that the PlayStation 5 production to be limited at launch due to high costs. And that's kind of no surprise, but like switches now because of the, well, I guess more than one reason, but from like the state of the world right now, everybody's ordering a Switch, and now it's going to be the PlayStation 5 for more than just one reason. But I guess it's once those pre-orders get in place, if you have the money, you might as well like drop some money on it if you're going to get it. They
haven't opened pre-orders yet, right?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
Sounds like somebody gonna get PS5 day one. No,
I can always get mine day one.
Okay,
and then
look up the console. Did you see there was a leaked look of the console. I don't know if y'all saw it.
I am not looking at any of those leaks until like PlayStation actually shows off what it looks like, because like we've got the controller. I mean, like that. I mean, that's good, but everybody being like, "Oh, that fucking these leaks. Here's this one. Here's like my mock-up or whatever the fuck." It's like, nah, just wait. They're gonna show us something. And then to tag on to that, Dead Island 2 looking for resurrection on next gen platforms. Yep. The fucking development of Dead Island 2 being a trash fire since 2014. From Jaeger to Sumo Digital to now Dambuster Studios. There was a job opening and they referenced Dead Island 2 in the post. So the ongoing joke of Dead Island 2 is still going strong. Fucking, and that sucks because I was actually looking forward to Dead Island 2, especially since it was based in California. So,
I mean, go ahead. What was the? Sorry, I was just gonna say, what was the? Maybe I didn't realize it. What was the joke about like Dead Island? Was it just that it was bad?
No, Dead Island 2 being kind of decent and that it was all right, but more that Dead Island 2 being in production hell. That's the joke.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet?
No, Dead Island 2 never came out.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that.
See, that's the thing. That's what I ran into all of these years. I was like, wait, Dead Island 2 never came out? It never did. We got Riptide, and then we got some cel-shaded one.
Oh, okay, that's why, because it was Riptide. Yeah. I was like, I knew something else came out afterwards, but what was that, just DLC?
No, it was not DLC.
Was that a full game?
It was a full game, and really? I believe it was the original Islanders that were like that you played as. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So technically we've gotten Dead Island and Dead Island 1.5, and then with Dead Island 1.75 remix.
Well, I bought I got Dead Island at some point, and like all of my friends got it, and we were all gonna play it, and it just never like our schedules never matched up to the point where we forgot about it.
Yeah.
Was it essentially just like Left 4 Dead?
No.
I don't remember what the gameplay style was.
So I played it with one of my other friends like a long time ago, and it's just like an it's like an open world zombie game.
So like Dying Light.
Yeah, kind of like that, but a lot worse.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but okay, gotcha.
It kind of made me sick to the motion.
I'm just curious why like people. It sounds like people are like ready for a 2.
I don't think a lot of people are.
I was just okay.
Well, I don't know, like if people are ready for a number 2. The thing is that they had already planned for a 2, but then like it's just been so long because developers kept dropping and it kept moving hands. So kind of like our Uncharted movie, it just keeps moving around. So
yeah, it's coming. Released the same day as the Gears of War movie.
Yeah.
LadyInfamous, you were going to say something?
Excited for Streets of Rage 4 coming out April 30th?
Nope.
I told you I made my
it's peace. Be free on Game Pass.
Oh, is it free? That's good to know. Yeah, the one problem I made, like I complained about, if you guys didn't see it, was just like I'm glad that it's 2-player online co-op, but it's like 4-player local, and I'm just like, why isn't it just 4-player online? That stuff frustrates me because I'm always like,
I agree.
That's one of those games that's side scrolling beat 'em up. It's meant for like to be played with friends. And I feel like a lot of people keep taking the approach of, it could be just me being grandpa again, but like a lot of developers seem to be taking the approach of start with like local co-op. And I'm like, I don't know at this point who plays that much local co-op.
Especially at this time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely not now. But I mean, just like I said, it could be just me being old because like, it could be, younger kids are actually still playing with each other, like side by side. And I just don't recognize. I just assume everybody was playing online because everybody basically has the internet at this point for the most part. But I guess maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you get out into like, rural country or whatever, maybe there are a bunch of people who play more just like at their homes or whatever. But yeah, or even if it was just like it's 4-player online and local co-op, I'm good. I don't know why it's only 2 players like online.
Well, if it is on, I mean, just by looking at it, it just doesn't seem like, like River City Girls type of innovation to me.
Oh no, I'm sure it's just basically a remake of the original. It's probably not going to be that different.
Yeah, it's just going to be like hit, and that's it. That's what it
probably
like.
Not much in terms of combos and movesets and stuff. Yeah, exactly. If it's on Game Pass, I'm definitely playing it. I was gonna play it before. I said I'm happy it's coming out. I'm just disappointed that it's only like that. There's no 4-player online co-op because I feel like I keep getting disappointed by that. It started with like Overcooked, but yeah. I'm still playing it though.
So one other thing I saw, was. Did you guys see this rock, paper, shotgun article on the new patent for a new Steam controller?
I have it.
How trash does it look?
I don't know. It doesn't look that much different from the last one, except it was registered back in March 26, 2020.
Huh. Well, I mean, anything is better than the current Steam controller.
I was gonna say, are you surprised by that? Are y'all like, I would assume that they might give it another shot.
I mean, they have money, so
yeah.
So yeah, like
look at that. Valve patent suggests they're giving Steam controllers another shot.
Your exact words. So I'm giving it like some harsh words for someone that has never tried it, but
it's not great.
Yeah,
Sharpie probably could tell you better. I only played like the Messenger with it, but
yeah.
But you
like
own
said,
it, right?
It's only good if you're playing like a simulation game, like like City Skylines and stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully they can. Well, I mean, these patent photos don't really, make it look like that it's changing the ball game of Steam controllers. So it's probably going to be the same exact thing over again. Hopefully.
I'm not getting it the second time.
Yeah. I mean, you got it for $5, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 5.
Yeah.
It was whenever I was on that last sale.
Yeah.
But I waited however many years it took to get the $5. So, but it's not. I haven't touched it since that first day. So, was it worth the $5? I don't even know if it was worth that.
And another thing of like, did you guys see or did you guys hear? Did you guys see any of the Guilty Gear Strive beta?
No.
I saw a lot of people trying to play it.
Well, we just had a closed beta test for Guilty Gear Strive, and it's using the not dedicated, not rollback. What's the other netcode that's called? Please tell me. Fucking.
I don't know.
The one that everybody wants?
The one that everybody hates.
Oh, the one that everybody hates.
Yeah, because everybody wants the rollback, but like they weren't doing that.
Delay based. That's what it's called. Sorry. It's running on delay based netcode right now. Or the closed beta test did, and they did do a announcement that they are putting rollback netcode into Guilty Gear Strive when it is released. So it's going to have it. It's just that the closed beta test had still the delay based netcode still. Unfortunately, it kind of ran like ass for half of the people, and then they gave an announcement in the middle of the beta test that because of the way the lobby system worked was you have to everybody is like an 8-bit sort of avatar, and they are in this like Habbo hotel sort of situation going on, and you hold square to like hold out your weapon, your avatar to hold out your weapon to be put in matchmaking. You can't be next to people that are holding out their weapon when they're in matchmaking, because if a lot of people are grouped up next to each other, it breaks the matchmaking in that floor or in that lobby. So people have to spread out and put themselves in the matchmaking, and it's this weird contrived way of like doing matchmaking and stuff, and the lobby system and all this other shit. But when games were running and I was watching footage of it, it looks badass as fuck. It looks really
fucking amazing,
good.
dude. It looks super cool.
It made me actually consider like getting into Guilty Gear Strive as someone that gets into a fighting game and then doesn't put enough time to actually get better at it. But
just a FYI, it's one of the hardest games to play.
XR and XR2, yeah.
Well, yeah, XR2 is what in XR was I was thinking of. But I mean, I guess I've heard it's like a lot easier.
So
Strive is a lot easier than XR.
As for any fighting game, the best time to get into a fighting game is a brand new one. And it's
of course, when everybody's trying to figure it out.
Exactly. And it's really dumb to kind of say that. And for someone that is just like, but I want to get into fighting games, but like I want to put time into it and I just don't want to get bodied all the time and all this other stuff. And like, because, like whatever your reason may be, but it is still true that like, if some fighting game looks really, really good, and you're looking at the details and being like, these types of things I can jive with, but I don't really know. It's unfortunate to say that, yes, spend the $60 and then put in your time and effort into learning the game and getting better at it, because that's the best time to get into a fighting game. So yeah,
that's why I jumped into Sam's show when it first came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Guilty Gear Strive looks really fucking good. And I can't wait. I am hoping that they do have another beta test where the rollback is put in, and that's if they do another beta test, I'm going to be getting into it, or I'm going to try to anyways. So that way I can get my hands on it.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes on that one. Do we want to talk about Final Fantasy VII now, or what do you guys think?
I'm down for it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll make it like about like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a consensus, like we've all know that like it's really, really good. Characters are fleshed out. Story beats. And I guess this is getting into some sort of I'm not going to say spoiler territory because I'm going to only say something of stuff to pay attention to. In the trailers of Final Fantasy VII, you do see these ghosts that are appearing. And we did, a few of us did talk about this in Unsheathed Productions stream. And Sharpie, you did question this. Are the ghosts in the original game? And my response to this was, I can neither confirm or deny if they are in it because I have to beat it first because I had a hypothesis for it with it. Now I have to change my entire answer with that. No, they were not in the original game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I didn't remember these things at all.
Yeah. However, I'm going to now point to LadyInfamous.
What's up?
Because what you're playing now, what point in the story did you get into the original game?
I think Peaches got kidnapped.
Okay.
So you're still in Midgar, and she got kidnapped by Shinra and by Hojo. So
is that when like Sang got her or whatever?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. When Sang, when Sang got her and made a deal about Marlene being safe. Now, as for every one of us, or I'm going to say for LadyInfamous, I would say that the Final Fantasy VII Remake, like this part 1, if you want to get into this and everything, and you kind of like I don't know how you're feeling now about how this game is being played into parts and everything. If you're actually interested in getting into it, I would say play a little bit after they get out of Midgar and then play Final Fantasy VII Remake. And to now, Sharpie and Unsheathed Productions, here's why. You guys need to pay attention to the original story and then remember all of those parts when the ghosts show up and that original beginning part where Cloud gets those visions.
When he meets Aerith.
No, yeah, when
Cloud
has those visions of Sephiroth and he gets dragged into the alleyway because he thinks he sees Sephiroth.
Yeah.
So remember back to all of those parts where the ghosts are shown up. And we will, because this was in one of the trailers. Remember when all of those ghosts are surrounding Aerith, and Cloud and Aerith meet for the first time in this remake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the thing. The idea being they're keeping her there so that Cloud and Aerith actually meet at that point. Now, Sharpie, you remember how somebody had told you about something to do with time?
All right, that's what I've been reading up on. This is like, I was like saying, what, time travel? Why did he put time travel in this game?
Yeah. So
that's all I heard about it. I don't know anything about it. Like when I'm watching you and T stream, like I don't really pay attention to the story. I just listen to what you guys are saying as background noise.
Gotcha. Okay. So because
I don't have it yet.
Right.
So I don't want to
So it's unfortunate that you did read something about time travel because that is a story beat. And that is revealed at the end.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I was like, God, that kind of, I feel like that's going to totally change how like the story for this game is going to go.
Now, it at the very end of the game, which is probably like the last hour of the game, or I would actually say, because Unsheathed Productions and everybody here has played, well, except LadyInfamous, but you'll get to it and everything. Everything that happens after everybody leaves Midgar, or not leaves Midgar. After everybody escapes the Shinra building, and then the motorcycle scene happens, and they get to the end of the highway. Everything that happens after that, that's where like they just kind of dump you with a bunch of information. And as far as for not looking back, you are left with this thought of what the fuck is going on, and you're ending up not understanding a bunch of stuff as far as for like, this is completely different and we don't know why. Or what's going on. Like everything within this is intentional. Do you Sharpie, did you recall me saying anything about continuity ghosts?
Maybe as background noise.
Okay. All right. I don't know how much you guys like want me to talk about this stuff.
I mean, I haven't finished it yet, so
yeah. Okay.
I prefer to not know.
All right, then we can kind of like
continuity ghost sounds great though.
So that's actually
here's a ghost that makes sure things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
So this is actually just stuff to keep in mind. So the thing that I want to bring up, and just for everybody to keep in mind, is for people that have played the original and then are now playing the remake, pay attention to when the ghosts are showing up and what the ghosts are doing. And then compare it to the original. So that's the food for thought.
Okay.
So Unsheathed Productions, you're on chapter 15? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what part are you at? Like specifically, like, are you inside Shinra?
No.
Okay.
So I climbed over the wall to start 15, then went up a bunch of buildings and fought some soldiers on the way up, and there was like a bench at the top that I just sat at. So that's where I stopped.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was like a bunch of buildings that had been destroyed when the plate fell or whatever.
Gotcha. So I guess to not talk about like story beats, what did you think about like the upgrade system for the weapons?
I mean, I didn't actually get that much into it. I literally just put things on like auto upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had like, I think I had.
You were confused about the whole auto cure, right?
I don't. Well, no, I get auto cure now. The main thing I was confused about with auto cure is like, do you have to have cure equipped in order to use it? Which it seems like you don't. But
okay.
Yeah, in terms of the upgrade system, I just like picked the type of the type of character I wanted to be of a certain style. So like Cloud was balanced. I think Barrett was set for defense, and like Tifa was offense, and then Aerith was balanced or whatever.
Okay.
Because honestly, like when it comes to stuff like that, I don't worry that much about customizing. I'm more like customizing like materia and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like I spend so much, even when I played the original game, I spent a lot of time on materia and fixing everybody with specific materia. Just so I can
that part I love.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get stuck doing that for like, 20 minutes, and then I'll like find something else and I'm like, oh, how do I rearrange everything because I have this new material?
Exactly. Like yeah. It's not that like I'm trying to optimize for like a better playthrough. It's like, how do I make it so that it runs how I want it to, or runs it efficiently, but I'm also upgrading my materia at the same time. Like
yeah, because you still want to like increase their levels, the level of the individual material,
right? So like by the time so like the battle intels and stuff like that, like there is one where leveling up each of the max magic materia to max, and there's 12 of them. So I ended up by the end of the game getting, I think 9 out of 12 maxed out. And there is one. Did you end up getting the AP, or I'm sorry, the pedometer materia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just set that to, I got that pretty quickly.
And it turned
like
into AP
the 5,000 steps or whatever. Yeah. AP.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that one was really cool. And then, so did you ever do all the?
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that was actually in the original too.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure they had like a materia that you had to walk around with for like a while in order to get it to change.
That sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. But sorry, were you saying something, LadyInfamous?
I was gonna say something.
Okay.
We sound so
Y'all
similar.
sound the same.
The way that you get summons for the most part now is kind of weird, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you have to fight them first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I don't really like that that Leviathan you get from the VR. I don't really like it that's where you get it, because like specifically within the OG Final Fantasy VII, Leviathan is a deity that Wutai worships, and you get Leviathan in Wutai, so a lot later in the game. So the fact that you get a summon materia by doing a VR battle against a Wutai deity, it's just kind of weird. So like I understand that like that Chadley is developing a new materia and some shit like that. Like I get it, but the fact that you're getting a summon materia from him is really weird.
Summon is weird. Yeah.
So
like I get that they want it to be. No, because I was gonna say, I assume they want it to be a little bit more epic by having you have to fight against them first, but they could have done that by just adding some sort of side quest or something like that where you have to end up fighting the summon in order to get that materia.
Yeah,
it's just weird to just kind of, it's like, oh yeah, here's a little VR headset, and then you fight the thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you got the materia now. I don't know. But
here's the other thing.
Maybe if there was like special ones, like I like Fat Chocobo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But what do you think about like Cloud doing the VR stuff with Chadley? Like the fact that that's a thing.
Was Chadley he in the first game? The original? Okay, yeah.
Because my idea is put on this VR set to then battle this summon, so that way we can develop the summon materia. My first thought is, Cloud, you're putting on a VR headset and swinging your sword around Wall Market. You gotta stop.
Yeah, it's a little silly. It's like just randomly has a VR headset for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like, actually, I like him a lot in terms of like having to do missions for him and him developing materia for you.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish that part of it wasn't there. It was done differently, we'll say, the VR part.
Yeah, I kind of wish that one was done differently.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You know, in the original Final Fantasy VII, like the very first battle that you do after getting off that train?
When you jump off?
You fight,
getting off.
Yeah, after
you mean literally the first battle of the game.
First two soldiers.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Right? After you defeat them, there's like, and you got the first time you ever have like, movement controls on Cloud, you should be able to pick up 2 potions off the guards. Is that how it is in this game?
Yes. Plus, you level up to level 7, just like the original.
So you can't pick up 2 potions like from the dead bodies.
Well, it's not like, oh, you press a button to pick them up. The way that you pick up items is different. Like when you destroy boxes, the like Shinra boxes, that's how you like find random items. But when you defeat enemies or you smash those boxes, if there are items on them, you'll see a blue glow on the floor, and it'll say on your sidebar that you picked up X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, you just have it. You just pick it up like automatically, I guess.
So there is no button to pick something up. There's a button to open a chest, but not like to pick up an item that's on the floor.
Yeah, because I remember in the original, it's like you have to actively, like, instead of just, killing them and then not interacting with the bodies, like you just missed out on 2 potions.
Yeah, it's not like that, but you still pick up 2 potions when you kill them. So like I think that's a nice little nod or whatever to the original. That is just you pick up 2 potions and you also leveled up to level 7, just like the original. But I think like full on this remake is really good. It's just that whatever shit that you guys are going to experience later, it's just, and also because the development team, writing team, and everybody is the Final Fantasy 13 team. I'm cautiously optimistic for whatever they're going to do next.
Yeah. I have to be like that too. Like 13 was just horrendous.
Okay, never mind. You said I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I was gonna say I liked the fighting system in 13. Did not like the story at all.
Yeah. So
the characters.
Oh wait, which one? 13 is Lightning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking of maybe I was thinking of 11. Which one's the online one? So then it was 12.
12 was the one with the Gambit and with Vaughn and all that.
Yeah, did not like I thought that's the one y'all were talking about. But yeah, the writing
story
in
was
Lightning
fine
wasn't
on
great
12. The character development on that one was just like that.
12 was nothing but politics, man. I couldn't do it.
That's actually the reason why I liked 12 was because it dealt specifically with politics.
It was very Star Warsy.
Yeah. And the fact that like my previous experience with Final Fantasy games before them, which was 9 and 10, was sort of, it had a little bit of politics, but it was more like, oh, like this guy is just evil and he wants to take over.
9 just felt like an actual Final Fantasy game.
Right. So
especially when you look at Vivi, it's like saying, yeah, that's a black mage right there.
So yeah, I don't know if there's like, I'm trying to think of anything else with Final Fantasy VII to like bring up with you guys, or whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, as long as it's not story based, it's like mechanic based or something like that.
Oh, the other thing, Red 13 just looks so fucking good in this, and his voice acting is really, really good. Like,
oh, you must show up towards the end then.
See, that's the thing. Like,
I haven't seen him.
Right.
15.
Yeah, he shows up in chapter 16 or 17. No, it's chapter 17. Sorry. He shows up in 17.
Literally the chapter before the last.
Pretty much. Now, it was explained before this game was released, that like there are 4 characters that you combat with, but 4 characters, there's Red 13 in it. What the fuck happened? I first thought, and I kind of still think this, is that fighting as Red 13 in this sort of combat style where it's action,
it wouldn't make any sense, dude.
The thing is that it would be completely awkward.
It'd be so different compared to everybody else. Like, yeah.
If you compare it to the original, where like you press attack and he does a flip forward and spins, and that's his attack move, like, you know, they kind of have to redevelop how his sword swings or how his swipes and everything would go. And it's like also trying to make that fit with camera controls and everything. Like, it seems like that it would be a lot more time needed to put into it. But then he's not. So like with that news being out, what was said is that he is in your party in some points fighting on his own. So when you watch him attack, like, it looks good.
You can see why.
You can see why, like, it would be awkward.
He's just in the party, but you're not controlling him.
Exactly. Yeah. But the thing is that it's more like what the camera is going to look like and just everything of positioning and how it's going to look on the player's controlling view. But when you outside of him, when you look at him, he looks really good when he fights. I kind of want to make a comparison of Kingdom Hearts 2 when you're in the Lion King world and Sora turns into like a lion sort of version of himself. Like, I don't want to say. See, the thing is that part, it wasn't awkward.
That one part wasn't bad.
That part wasn't bad. It's just that it was a little bit less interactive than the rest of Kingdom Hearts 2 when it came to like doing moves and stuff. And again, it's Kingdom Hearts 2, so there's not much interaction when you're fighting and stuff. So that's why I'm thinking that when it came to Red 13, that more time needed to be spent in the oven to be able to make his combat feel good. But then also, and a buddy of mine in my chat told me this, that they also said that because he's also very late into the game, further development on his combat to be put in for one chapter would have been kind of pointless.
Yeah, so maybe you'll play as him in the next one or something.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, yeah, we don't want to like put too much effort into his development for this one right now, but we want to work on it and then spend more time on it so that it feels good. And also like, because everybody has their own triangle move, has an alternate move or whatever, it's to develop that as well and everything. So, I just think that they just did so well on him because I was worried about how he was going to sound and everything, but he looks really, really good. And just, I don't know, like I just have so many high praises for this game, except for like whatever weird as fuck direction they're going to take this. And I don't know if like anything that is part 2, 3, and maybe plus 4 or 5, whatever the fuck they're doing. Like, I don't know if it's going to be too weird. It's just like, it feels like whatever weirdness is happening that is different for what you guys are hearing in this remake in part 1, it seems like it's going to stop at part 1. And then there's going to be some extra stuff or some sort of side, not side stuff, but it's going to kind of be different. It's like kind of like the ripple. It's that residual of like, because of the weird stuff that happened in the remake part 1, it's kind of going to echo out into part 2 and 3. That's my take on it.
That is if there is going to be a part 2 and 3 and not any more than that.
I mean, hey.
I think they'll stop at 3. It's going to be, I think at some point. Well, I mean, I guess that actually leads into the question I was going to ask. How long do you guys think until the next one?
I would say give it at least 2 years. 2 more years, I will say.
That's going to be crazy if this whole game takes 10 years to come out or something.
Fucking right.
That's what I've been saying too.
Nuts.
I was like, man, we're going to be grandparents by the time we finish this game.
So, I mean, as far as for like Final Fantasy 13, like, do you guys remember? Actually, you know what? I'm going to shut up right there because this isn't actually a fair comparison. Because you guys have seen exactly what this game looks like, and then the next games are going to be on PlayStation 5. Like,
oh yeah, that's also true.
These guys
also, but this is not going to be a PlayStation exclusive game.
No, actually, that's a good thing to point out right now. When I got this game in the mail and like the shrink wrap and everything, there's a tag on there that says PlayStation exclusive until April 12th, 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
So it's coming out on Xbox and or PC. Like that's what we're looking forward to. I'm definitely double dipping on this one and getting it on PC, I think, depending on how it runs on PS5.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about this game is, what do you call it? There's two, like, I listened to all the voice acting in it. There's only 2 characters I feel like it fits the characters better in Japanese than English. Well, not saying that the English ones were bad, right? Mm-hmm. I just feel like it fits more with how they look, right? Okay. One is Reno and the other one's Tifa.
Okay.
Those two sound, I feel like it sounds, it seemed like it fits their character more.
In Japanese?
Not saying that, yeah, in Japanese. Then, like, I think, like, all the other characters, they sound way better in English.
I am going to do this hard playthrough with Japanese voice acting. Because I want to have, like, the reference for, like, for both sides.
The only problem that I saw, that was initially what I was going to do, but the only problem was when I looked in the settings, I don't think you can do Japanese language and English subtitles.
No, you can.
You can?
Yes.
Oh, because when I saw it, all it said was subtitle. I think it just said subtitles on or off, and then you picked your language.
Adobe Rel is playing the game with Japanese voiceovers, English subtitles.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Maybe I just overlooked it then.
So So yeah, like I still think that it's going to be like at least 2 years. I wouldn't put it past anyone if it was actually going to be 3 years, just because that it's going to be on PlayStation 5 and whatever they're doing with the engine and how it looks and everything. Because this is made with Unreal, and if like as engine technology moves forward, like I'm sure it's easy to port over a previous previous version of Unreal Engine assets to a new version and then buff it up. So
yeah, but then remember, this was Midgard. It's all like, tech and gray.
Yeah. And then you get out into greener pastures.
Yeah,
and shit,
literally greener pastures.
I just think it's interesting. It sounds like there's a potential that if depending on how long they take to make one, if it takes like 3 years, for all we know, if they could like kind of go back to the old ways of like their console development cycle, it could be like one episode of this game per like new console.
Well, that's the thing. Like
there's like 1 on 4, 1 on 5, and 1 on 6.
Well, what I think is that like after they have the second part made, it'll take shorter time for the last part to be, or for part 3 to be made, because like, what were you gonna say?
Didn't you say like that, like if the first game was like that, the next 2 games will be like that, like a few weeks back?
Well, that's another thing to point out too. Like it took so long to do the first development, the development of part 1, and then as the years go on, like the time gets shorter because they already have the assets and they reuse them and they have the engine and stuff like that. Like what I was trying to get at was that the Unreal Engine, like if you port it over to like if there is a new version of Unreal, or you're able to do a lot more because of the PlayStation 5 technology and stuff, like you're able to like make it run better, make it like buff out all the rough edges and like make it look prettier and stuff like that with the new system, the new consoles and stuff. Like that's why I'm saying it might take a little bit more time than just like, the fast progression after you get part 1 out. That's why I'm saying like it might take a couple of years at least to have part 2 come out. And then a shorter amount of time for part 3 to come out if they're actually going to be able to finish the entire cycle on the PlayStation 5. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that. So
I feel like I should just wait for it to come out on PC now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not a bad choice. Like if you want to get in on the story like now, and like that way we can talk about it next week.
I think like 80 or 90% of the story is like relatively the same, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just that I do desperately want to talk about like what the ending is and like all these other like story bits and everything that's going on. So like that's one thing I want to do. So I'm just
Okay. Anyways, I think we should just start wrapping up now.
Yeah.
Start off with. Actually, let's start off with Zeldrick and move our way left on this Discord.
So you can catch me on Twitch and on Twitter at Zeldrick, ZELDRICK. Because now we've hit the credits on stream with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And there is a hard mode. I do really want to play hard mode. I'm not sure how much I want to do it on stream and like get the rest of the achievements for that. But in the next week, you're actually going to catch me doing a lot of VR stuff because my Viveport Infinity ends on the 30th of this month, and I need to get through some games on there that I've just been putting off. So you can catch some VR goodness at twitch.tv/Zeldrick.
You can catch me at twitch.tv/UnsheathedP. I'm going to obviously finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. Definitely play some more GTFO, try to fit some sessions in there. And then I'm going to do some more of the watch parties on Twitch, because it seemed like there's a couple of things. Like I'm probably going to watch some Top Gear and some anime and stuff like that on there. More so for my own benefit than anybody else's, but people could watch if they have Amazon Prime, I guess. But yeah, it's probably a combination of those three. Again, twitch.tv/UnsheathedP.
This is me, LadyInfamous 415. You already know. Thank you guys for listening to us this evening. I will be playing tomorrow's 420, so you already know it's going to be glitty like a titty. I'm going to be playing some Fallout 76, and we'll be playing some Final Fantasy OG. What else? And we're going to probably squeeze in some near in there as well. You can check. Did I say my name? Lady_infamous 415. I said that. I said that already.
Maybe, but if you didn't, you just did.
Okay. Thank you for.
All right, and I'm JSharpie. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and all that other good stuff. I will be more than likely be playing One Step for Eden now that I got gifted that. Now I feel like obligated to play it now. So I'll play that. I heard it's about 10 hours, so that'll probably be like 2 or 3 sessions. Other than that, I'll probably just be playing Valorant. Because that game is just, I can't say enough good things like on how good this beta is, even though it's only 3 maps. But other than that, that is it for this week. We'll see you all next week. Actually, that's my birthday.
Is your birthday?
Birthday podcast.
Birthday podcast, April 26th. Yeah. I'll see you all next week. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Please like, favorite, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening to